Hey guys, what's up? Thanks for tuning back into the video, taking a little bit of time out of your day to watch it. Much appreciated. Just out here in the yard with Elijah. He's playing with his toys, and just gonna do today's video real quick. And man, this social media, this thing it's cool, and yet it is frustrating. It looks like I got my Facebook, my business page, Randy Block Professional Angler, hacked again, and I haven't been able to access it for like 3 days. And it's impossible to get a hold of anybody at Facebook. It's like there's not a person you can talk to about problems. So I'm trying to deal with that right now, but at least the YouTube hadn't went down. So I'm gonna do today's video. But the video I wanted to do today, I think that this is probably one of the most overlooked aspects as far as all the elements coming together to become a better angler. And I talk about this a lot, guys, about things that can make you become a better angler. And most of the time, the important things that I think about get ignored by most of the subscribers. They just don't watch it. It's not interesting to them. But the things that have to do with the other aspects of bass fishing besides lures and lure modifications are really the most important parts of this. And if you want to get good, become really good as a bass angler, the things that I talk about that people aren't interested in is where you're going to make those big leaps. If you want to grow to snail's pace, then it's all about the colors and lure modifications. It's important, don't get me wrong, but as far as becoming a really good angler and fulfilling your full potential, there's a lot of other stuff that goes with it. And today's topic is one of those, and I want to talk about how important it is to keep your boat clean that will help you catch more bass. Two main reasons for that. The first reason is pretty obvious, and the second's not. The first reason, the most obvious reason, is simply organization. If you have your boat clean and organized and you know where everything at, it's just a matter of it's just easier to get stuff quicker. You don't have to go through the wasted motion of hunting for it. You know right where it's at. And that's why I spend a lot of time, like especially before a tournament, you know, building my tackle boxes, organizing my boxes, putting them in my boat in an organized fashion. And the same with my tools. I've got a toolbox that I use. I've got, you know, medical kit. I've got, you know, my life jacket, spare props. Everything has a place, and I know where everything's at, where I can go right to it. Along with the organization, a lot has to do in the same line as simplicity. I think that overall it's more important if you carry less than more. If you carry less, it helps again with your organization and your efficiency. Sometimes having fewer options is better than having too many options. So from the first standpoint, just the organizational aspect of it is key. The second key, and the most important key in my opinion, goes beyond that. It gets more of an internal, and that is you fish better out of a clean boat because it feels better to be in a clean boat. And a lot of it has to do, guys, with I think a lot of it has to do with if you live in a dirty, messy house, and if you have a dirty, messy car, dirty, messy boat, sometimes that's sort of a reflection of how things are going on your inner part, on your, you know, your mental state. A lot of times that's sort of like a manifestation of that. And on the other hand, and you know, if you keep everything clean and neat, boat, truck, house, whatever, yard, whatever like that, sometimes that can have a positive effect on your mental attitude as far as when you're on the boat. One of the biggest reasons I like to keep my boat clean is it's a discipline. And don't get me wrong, my boat gets dirty and I use it a lot. You know, I've got 3 boys that go with me a lot. I don't try to, if I get back in tight places, I don't care if I'm getting sticks or limbs in the boat, my boat gets dirty. But the thing about that is I don't really worry about that during the day. But when I get back home, got a few seconds, or at the end of the day, say for example, I'm practicing for a tournament, I always take the time to clean everything out, reorganize the stuff. A lot of times, you know, in the heat of a tournament or the heat of practice, I'm in and out of boxes constantly, and I'm not like putting the baits back in right. Sometimes I'll put some baits on the floor, but I always take time to reorganize the stuff at the end of the day and that gets me mentally prepared for the next day, because there's something very powerful. If you go out to your, and here's an example, think about your own house. Think how nice it feels when you walk into your home and everything is neat, clean, and organized. Think how that makes you feel inside. Think how makes it feel sometimes if you go into your house and there's a sink full of dirty dishes and the beds aren't made and there's, you know, stuff on the floor. That doesn't feel good. Nobody feels. The same with it if you get in your car. If you get in your car and it smells good and it's clean and there's not a bunch of junk and trash around in it, it just feels better to be in there. And it's the same with your boat. When you get into a boat that has a floor full of, you know, baits and plastic worms, and you look in your storage compartment and there's food wrappers in there, and you know, you've got, it's been raining and some of the compartments are wet and you haven't cleaned them out. Think how that feels, and think how it feels to get into a nice boat where the carpet's vacuumed out, you open up your storage compartments and everything's neat and well organized. It feels good. It feels good internally. And when you feel good, that is one element that you don't have to worry about. That's a positive element that gets you in the right frame of mind for the day. And it's just sort of the same with working out. I mean, if I go a couple days without going to the gym, I don't feel good. But if I go to the gym and I've got a little bit of soreness going on the next couple of days, I feel good about myself with that. And that's one of the variables that you can control in your fishing, is how clean you keep your boat. So just take some time. Like I said, you don't have to get fanatical about it. It didn't have to be sparkling, shining all the time. I'm just talking about keeping a vacuum, keeping a shop vac in your truck and vacuum the carpet out. Organize your boxes. Make sure nothing's wet inside. Wipe it down once in a while. I'm not one of those guys that wipe my boat down every single day I get out of the water. I usually wipe it down after I fish for the tournament for the week. Take it to the car wash. You know, I just try to keep it as clean and organized as I have time. And that's another thing. It's all about balancing your time. Sometimes you simply don't have time to put into that. Back before I had kids, I could spend lots of time keeping my boat clean, but now that I've got kids, that time's cut, you know, down to a fraction. So, but overall, what I wanted, the gist of this is give it a try. I can promise you that you'll feel better, you'll have a better attitude. If you keep your boat clean, you're more organized, and it will add up to more bass, you know, over the long term. So give it a try. Let me know what you think about it. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing good. I'm gonna hang out with Elijah a little bit and then get back in there and keep working on those Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns. Again, guys, if you're interested in our fall lake map breakdowns, go to fishthemoment.com. We got a great selection of them up there. And also check out Johnny and I's Bass Camp coming up November 6th. We got our full day seminar here in Springfield, Missouri, November 6th. You can register for that at fishthemoment.com, limited to 30 people. So spots are filling up, so check them out. We'll talk to you later. See you.